Hey, welcome back to the show. So obviously XTERRA taking place in Beaver Creek and also at Nottingham tomorrow. A big race, a big national, it's actually a world race. It happens in different places all around the country and the world. And Michael Dorr is an athlete. He's a local guy. He's lived here since 1995, is that right?
Yes.
Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
We were chatting off camera, and like you all, I mean, you weren't an athlete growing up. I mean, you may have done some sports, but you kind of got into this XTERRA thing later on in life, and it's a group of people that travel around. You probably see a lot of familiar faces, like a big family gathering every time, right?
Yeah, it's a very like tight-knit family. You can go to a race in Alabama or out in Utah, and you'll see a lot of the same faces. Guys that are from other parts of the country, and there's a really big community here too, which is nice because a lot of us train together and we kind of go racing together and stuff. So like when we go out to Hawaii, if you qualify, there'll be like 5 or 6, and we'll get a condo out there together and hang out and have a good time for a week.
Josiah hang out with you guys?
Yeah, Josiah hangs out with us a little bit. I mean, he's got a little bit important fish to fry, but yeah.
So explain that to me then. So I'm just trying to picture this. Now, if you're an elite athlete, it's different than being an amateur athlete, correct?
Oh, yeah.
For things like this. So you can get it. There's 51 spots for people to qualify for Hawaii at this particular event. Is that normal at all the events? There's a certain number of qualifying, because that's what you're doing basically. You're qualifying for Hawaii for the championships, along with the other parts of the race.
So yeah, so they have championship level events like gold races, and then they have like, I think it's silver races. You don't accumulate enough points. There's not as many spots available. So usually, depending on your age group, some of the bigger age groups get more spots.
Okay.
If you finish top 3 in your age group, you usually get a spot. You get a couple weeks to decide if you want to use it, and then it can roll down to you. I think in 14, I was offered a roll down spot, but I always said I wanted to qualify before I go. So,
right.
But if you go to a smaller race, sometimes there's only 1 spot per age group available, and you can accumulate points for the series too. So,
and you need to have a certain amount of points also potentially to qualify. Or?
Yeah, you can accumulate if you do enough races and you accumulate enough points, you can get a spot that way too.
But that means that you potentially have to travel around the country.
You do,
obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to find time within, because you have a normal job, like you live here and you.
Yeah.
And what is that you do?
So I'm a personal trainer over at the Weston Athletic Club, and then I also work at goat training down in Edwards. And
so just
it takes up a lot of time, especially in the summer.
Right, it does.
I have a lot of clients that are summer people, and so about 2 weeks ago I got really, really busy.
And then you also have to find time within that for you to get out and train.
Yeah, it can be tough. It was tough, really tough last year.
If you were to pick whether it's swimming, biking, or running, where would you fall short? Like, which one of those is the toughest one for you? Is there one?
Swimming for sure.
Really?
I've never been a good swimmer. I basically, when I first started XTERRA, I wanted to do it because I just started mountain biking and I loved trail running. And I was like, well, I can do 2 of the 3. So if I just kind of teach myself how to swim, I mean, I could swim, but I just didn't know how to really swim. So I just started getting in the pool.
And Nottingham also does open swim now, right?
Open
Which is
swims
nice. That's nice.
Thursday nights, I think it's $5 to drop in, and then they also have that swim lane by the beach. There's a little 50-meter swim lane over there.
That's important to have that, to be able to get in that water, to feel that cold temperature, and to be in that environment.
It's a lot different than swimming in a pool.
100%.
It's you can't see anything. You have nothing to grab onto. So it definitely helps if you struggle with swimming to get in that open water setting.
Good deal. Michael, good to see you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, we have Weather with Ashley coming up next.